Stranger Things might be my third favourite show of all time. And considering my two favourite shows, Game of Thrones and Lost, you might ask, are you nervous about this final season? No? Hey guys, I'm Jax, and this is my spoiler review for Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1, the first 4 episodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, big spoiler warning. I'm just going to do big spoilers from the get-go. So after 3 long, painful years, Stranger Things is finally back, and oh boy, is it glorious! I just absolutely love spending time with these characters that I absolutely love, and this world with all the great lore and mythology, and it's just so nice to be back in Hawkins. Despite potentially having a couple of issues I wish I didn't have, I mostly enjoyed this season, well, these first 4 episodes. Season 5, the final season, Part 1. And oh boy, did it at times feel like, oh, have they just cut it in half? And then they're giving us the finale in 1 episode, which I'm happy with. But is this going to have like some kind of feeling like it's a mid-season finale? Kind of like back in the olden days when Walking Dead would do that? Back when anybody watched The Walking Dead? Well, at least when I did. God, I watched too much of that show. I am sidetracking too early for a review that is going to be dangerously long. So, if I'm going to be completely honest, these are still incredibly fresh thoughts. They're kind of still brewing, still marinating. I feel like maybe my opinion on some of the things is going to change. I might become more positive on some things. I might, for some reason, become more negative on some things. It's still just kind of really just... Yeah, I feel... like, it's just been so long. Like, as soon as it started, it was just surreal to see, like, new footage of, like, these characters. Because I've just rewatched the show so many times. I feel like there are periods, because it's been out for so long, where I dip in and out of how much I like it. But at some point, I rewatched Season 4. And I was just like, oh, that's like my favourite season of anything ever. This is the best. And since then, in the last year or two, I've really just become very obsessed with it. And I just love revisiting it. And so it's just so crazy to just see new stuff and new footage. So part of me, I feel like my expectations were too high. I was almost a little overwhelmed. That being said, let me critique and analyze and say words about things, mostly in a pretty positive light. Mostly. So let's talk the good, the bad, and the strange. Like all previous seasons of Stranger Things, the highlight, once again, is the characters. God, it's just so fun to be with these characters. I really liked how there were some really clever new pairings, some classic old pairings pairing up again, and of course we got some really interesting choices to focus on characters that have been in the show that are like, not really been in the show. You know, why am I tiptoeing around this? This is spoilers. I am of course talking about Holly. It was kind of insane how much screen time Holly got. Kind of respect it to be like, hey, she's kind of been in the show in these really small, pivotal little moments throughout. So let's really give her like a juicy role. Now she's kind of aged up into something that we can like, you know, she can really work with it. And on the other hand, I'm like, man, it is the final season. Maybe just like give me more screen time with Steve and Dustin. But also... maybe, like, if they're going to be so mean to each other, maybe not. Okay, before we start getting to things that I'm a little mixed on, let's talk about the biggest and most positive, the ultimate, the good of this season, or these first 4 episodes, and that, which, honestly, I never expected this, is Will. Will the Wise. Oh boy, is he just, like, the best character out of fucking nowhere. Like, I don't know, I've never hated Will, but like, especially in season 1, he's barely a character. Season 2, he gets all the trauma and emotional stuff, but he's not really the funnest character. And in season 3, he's there for sure. Season 4, for a character who should essentially be one of the mains, gets absolutely dogged and sidelined, considering how emotionally and just plot-wise and all that stuff, he's connected to Vecna. I was hoping that we'd finally get some juicy stuff, but I really didn't think it would be this much and this juicy and just this fucking awesome. He is finally finally getting the screen time he deserves. It was really interesting in episode 1's cold open. We actually get some time with him in the Upside Down and we see what was going on, and we see he wasn't just kind of hiding and crying and sitting in a little corner, but in fact he was running about and trying to fight the Demogorgon and jumping over big trees, and he's apparently immortal because he falls like 100 feet down, smashes through so many trees, and it's just like, okay, you know. Do physics not exist anymore? Why is this child immortal? Unless his super secret hidden magical abilities that we didn't know he's had have actually been like keeping him alive. And like if Vecna was to take those powers away that he didn't know he had, his body would just shatter and crumble. Because of that time he smashed through 15 branches from like a 100-foot tree. I don't really care. It's also just like, you didn't have to do that. You wrote him to climb that high up. I just feel like the tree could have been shorter. Another thing you potentially didn't need to do, but also I guess maybe you did, de-age him for that scene. And honestly, until I saw it, I would have thought that's totally cool and fine, because 11 in season 4 is so incredibly CGI de-aged. She looks so good in those flashbacks in season 4. It's actually some of the best de-aging I've ever seen of anybody ever. It's so well used, but I am a little confused as to why they've traded all of that really fantastic 11 de-aging for this new dead-eyed nightmare fuel that they've given Will. Horrible stuff. Made me feel sick. If I hadn't seen those first 5 minutes a couple of weeks before when they, surprise announced, like, here's the first 5 minutes, I think that would have really put the show in a bad start for me, because I would have just been like, ugh, that looks awful. Why? Whereas I already had that. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know, it's fine. I like the idea that Vecna was there, and it's kind of that fun retconning of things that wasn't there originally, but it all ties together, and nothing in season 1 where you watch it goes, well, what do you mean Vecna was there all along? It actually makes a lot of sense, and it's super cool and fun, so love all of that. Just, hated looking at his eyes and the dead, soulless CGI boy. It was horrible. But that's enough of that. Let's talk about the positives. Will's hair. Let's be real. Will's hair, his bowl cut. I mean, I love a disgusting, awful bowl cut as much as the next man. But it is disgusting and awful, and it's really good to see them give him a cool haircut. He's just got like a little bit of shape to it, a little bit of like to it. It's still almost a bowl cut, but they've just let it grow just enough to give it a bit of a ragtaggy look, and now he looks awesome. What's a glow up? One might say, a Will up? That's nothing. So this season we find out that Will has the ability to see through the eyes of the Demogorgon, which means he's seeing through the eyes of Vecna. And we finally find out one of the biggest mysteries of the show. And that is why it's set in the 80s. I know what you're going to say. It's just nostalgia. It's the fact that it's a Spielberg, Stephen King throwback series. It has to be set in the 80s. No, that is not it at all. We finally find out that the real true reason is because if it was set in the modern day, when Will explains his powers, his newfound abilities, everyone would just be like, oh, it's like Harry Potter and Voldemort. This is just a big old Harry Potter and Voldemort situation. Should we do exactly what Harry Potter does when he's dealing with the Harry Potter and Voldemort situation that he deals with in those books and or movies? And then Will goes, yeah, I suppose so, but wasn't it a trap that one time? And then we just got to do that for ages. So, to avoid that ugly, boring, just, comparison, and, when they're saying Harry Potter, a lot of viewers might be like, man, I could just stop this and watch Harry Potter. Will they do that? So yeah, I really like it, but it is just a big old Harry Potter Voldemort situation. I was afraid for those first couple of episodes that it wasn't gonna grow out of that and change and adapt and do something new with it, and it was just gonna be a Harry Potter Voldemort situation, seeing through his eyes and being all like, I'm a big Harry Potter all over the place. But I was pretty pleasantly surprised how completely changed it became in that 4th episode, where Will gets a power up. One might say, a Will up. I thought the second time it might sound better. It did sound worse. It sounded worse. I won't do it again. Will the Sorcerer is finally here, and it was so amazing. It was just so exciting to see him finally do something cool, but also the way he did it, like the white eyes, what a terrifying, creepy look. It really kind of hints or potentially foreshadows or red herrings that he's going to go evil. Also, he kills the Demogorgons like Vecna kills people. Like he pulled a Vecna on them, like snapping their bones and they're like, just killing them like that. It was genuinely crazy. I feel like they make the Demogorgon so OP. People are shooting blasts like bang, 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 just shotguns and shells, and they home alone to the Demogorgon all over the place, and it was fine. Like on fire, getting shot with shotguns. Like they are so OP. To see him kind of, I suppose not easily, but pretty efficiently and like quickly take them all out by just going full like Vecna on them. I thought it was just absolutely glorious. And then seeing the little nosebleed, like, I don't know, it made me kind of go, I have a bit of issues with the pacing. There's a bit of kind of ugly exposition and awkward exposition and kind of repeating and repetitive stuff throughout this first 4 episodes from what we've had before, like certain characters and things where I'm like, this isn't as perfect as I was kind of hoping with my impossible expectations. But then a scene like that happens and ends, and you just end on this glorious high where you're just like fist pumping and cheering. But then after you sit down, you're like, oh my God, is he going to turn evil? Oh, fuck. So I think we have 3 options with Will having Sorcerer's powers now. 1, this is actually a long con by Vecna, where he's kind of tricking Will into thinking he's in control of these powers so that he kind of, you know, they all trust him and they kind of give him more responsibility to do power stuff, and it's some kind of long con to kill them all. That doesn't feel super likely, but I wouldn't put the past Vecna or the show or the writers or anything to do something like that, because it is such a kind of fist pump moment, and to kind of look back on it when you rewatch it knowing it's a bad thing, it's going to kind of have that tragic twist on a rewatch, which I kind of love those kind of things. So, I don't know. It could be that, but not likely. Second, Will isn't, like, very creative with, like, his powers. Like, he got them, but he was like, fuck, what do I do? I'll just pull a Vecna. So, like, maybe he's just, like, more of, like, a Jason Voorhees than a Freddy Krueger when it comes to killing people. Which is fine. I'm not trying to shame Jason. But, like, you know, he should mix it up more is all I'm saying. Or the third option is that Will thought it would be pretty funny and ironic or whatever, and he's like, justice, sweet dessert, sweet justice, sweet just desserts. Wait, what? You know, he just thought it'd be ironic. He's like, I'll kill Vecna's pets with a big Vecna kill. So I don't know. It's one of those 3 options, and they are all very exciting. And so yeah, maybe Vecna is controlling him, but it feels like if he was controlling him, maybe he shouldn't kill the Demogorgons with a big Vecna, because it's like he's like showing his hand, like the long con, but he's like kind of revealing himself, and he's like, will they notice that was a big Vecna? It's like, it's pretty obvious. The way you kill people is pretty distinctive and unique. My theories for the end of the show, ever since, like, I don't know, season 3 or 4 or whatever, has been that Elle will do a big sacrifice, kill Vecna the way she killed the Demogorgon in season 1, and actually die this time. And it will be a big sacrifice, and it will tie into how the first season, when they potentially thought they were only ever going to get that one season before it became the cultural phenomenon it is, like, that's how it was going to end. Like, Elle might be alive, but she was kind of dead. So I think they'll do that, but actually kill her. Be a big sacrifice and perfectly bittersweet. So now that Will's got powers, I think it'll be a Will Vecna showdown, and then he'll almost die. Then Elle will come in and save Will and kill Vecna, which is essentially what happened at the end of season 1, where she kills the Demogorgons and they save and find Will with her help. It'll be like that, except he'll be in the battle this time, which we didn't know was going to happen. So that's very exciting and juicy, and I think that's definitely how it's going to be. I don't think now that Will has got powers that he'll die in the big final battle when they're all doing the Force at each other or whatever. I think the whole origin of the show, the very essence of the show originally was finding Will, saving Will, making sure he isn't dead. So to kill him at the end just doesn't work for me. That feels like tonally I'm emotionally wrong for the show to end it. I think he's the one character that will not die. Even though, as we'll get to my issues, no one feels like they're going to die, particularly at all, until there's one scene later that I presume is going to happen, in which they kill Steve. Those motherfuckers. Also, I am 100% confident 11 will die, because 11 and Mike have a conversation where they're like, hey, are we going to have a happily ever after? And Mike's like, absolutely, why wouldn't we? Come on, man. You don't say that on a show. It's like the guy in Scream says, never say, I'll be right back, because you won't be right back. Never say I'm going to have a happily ever after with your loved one in the final season of a show, early in that final season. You are essentially marking an X on you. You are already dead. Well, sorry, Mike's not. Mike's fine. So Mike has condemned 11 to death by saying we'll have a happily ever after. Classic Mike. So let's keep this Will gravy train going, because honestly, I I feel like I have the most stuff to say about Will. I was just so overwhelmed by how well he was handled, when that was really my main... Well, I have two main critiques of season 4. One of them was like, do you hate Will? Like, why don't you like him? I don't know. I feel like I didn't treat him properly. But hey, whatever. They fixed that. I don't know. I never really hated it. But I was just like... Yeah, it just felt like he needed this. Like what they gave him this time. So I guess they were saving it. Which is super exciting and cool. That's the best thing about shows when there's still stuff to go. Any issues you have with previous seasons, they can fix and change it. Which does make final seasons the trickiest and the hardest, because once it's over, there isn't a season after to kind of retcon or change or just adapt and maneuver things so that the things that didn't work as well now work better because they were leading to things and stuff. Final seasons. Oh boy. They're hard and they make me nervous. They should make you excited, but I feel like I've just, yeah. I've been through one too many bad final seasons. As we all have. So Will and Joyce have some great stuff. I think pairing them together so much in these first 4 episodes totally works. Once again, that was kind of the crux of the original season, her trying to find him. And so now that he's there and found and he's kind of grown up, it feels like a plot and all their scenes play really well to the fact that they have grown up a bunch. Whether or not they're even that much older in the show, who cares? He feels like an adult now. So even if he is still meant to be 17 or whatever, there is that kind of moment where she's treating him like a little baby boy and keeping him like safe. And he's like, hey, I'm actually like an adult now, maybe don't. And I thought all of that stuff was really juicy and nice and just really sweet. And the way it kind of went up and down the roller coaster of emotions. And those final scenes we had in episode 3, I think, with them kind of apologizing to each other and stuff, just thought was really sweet and nice. And one of the best scenes in these first 4 episodes. And of course, another perfect pairing for Will. As soon as I saw what was happening, I'm like, oh, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, that's how you should do it. Will and Robin. Robin is one of my favorite characters. Her introduction in season 3 is just a revelation. It's so crazy. It's like Eddie in season 4. We're like, I can't believe they've nailed this so much and come into the group and become one of the best characters in the show so quickly and so easily. They just fit in with everyone. And one of the characters she's not really spoken or dealt with is Will. But of course, due to their sexuality, both being gay, having them have these scenes together and have her be the one that kind of opens up to him and starts realizing what's going on, and they have that big D&M, it's just so emotional and so well handled. I do think some of the stuff with Will in season 4 was like pretty good, but it was kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's how you end it. Like, you're going to need to do a final thing. Like I was saying, season 4, a bit rocky with Will stuff sometimes. Where this time, just kind of really kind of, just doing real good stuff with it. And I thought it was really emotional and beautiful. And the way that Robin kind of referenced all that stuff she's talked about. And she's like, hey, Mike's your Tammy. But she doesn't say that, but that's what she's saying. And he kind of has this moment where he's like, yeah, I guess I'm going to just move on and be comfortable with myself. And maybe everything is just going to work out. And then, sweet power up. One might say Robin helped him get his will up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so to the next category, strange. These are things that I thought were like, not good, not bad, but just like strange choices. Dustin and Steve's dynamic and friendship has been the absolute highlight of this entire series ever since halfway through season 2, 2, 3, 4. It's the best part of the show. It's just so fun and wholesome and lovely and beautiful. And I just love their dynamic together as friends. I just feel like in a final season, when the stakes have been raised, it's like, oh shit, it's super serious now. The tone has become more self-serious. It's got a darker, more dour kind of, mature tone mostly. And I just feel like there's enough conflict and tension and stakes and all those kind of things. You don't need to have your best 2 characters who play off each other be so aggressive and mean to each other. And it kind of fixes itself in like the last episode when they're in the car and they smash through and then they're like, yeah, we're all friends again, blah. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't need to have episodes where they're like yelling at each other and angry and like, I feel like they thought it's like, well, they've just been best buddies and they kind of yell at each other sometimes, but it's just good friends how they do it. We've got to really give them some kind of dramatic stakes and, actually like conflict and resolution and thing. And I'm like, I don't think you do for everybody. There's enough stuff going on. I just feel like with these 2 characters in particular, you don't need any more conflict. You don't need to set up all this fake forced conflict. Just have them be best buds and really fun and play off each other. And that'll kind of help you through the more dark, serious tone of this end game of Stranger Things rather than, I don't know, it just really frustrated and annoyed me. And I was like, I don't know if I like Dustin. I understand he's grieving for Eddie. That fight scene and all that stuff with the bullies I thought was really good. But his conflict with everyone else, I'm just like, I just don't think we need to be spending the time. These episodes are very, very long. I don't think that's an issue at all. But I'm just saying, there's so much going on. This little element, if you just spent that time you've been spending with them fighting, with them having fun and being just like the way they've been in the whole show, I think it would do a lot to kind of tonally balance the more moody, mature stuff that's going on. So yeah, I just think it's a really strange choice. Another strange choice, and in a lot of ways, both these strange choices potentially could just be bad choices because I don't like them. But I don't know, I said that thing at the start and I'm like, do I even have any strange things to say? It was just a thing, because the show, you get it. So Steve and Nancy in season 4, one of the best parts of that season was Steve and Nancy finally realizing that they do still love each other, and it felt like after everything that's happened, that worked, that felt emotionally right, that felt like thematically and story-wise, that just works. I really like that. And Steve's come so far, and yet now that Jonathan's back, over this time, they've all just kind of backtracked and they've regressed, and their arcs have kind of not stopped, but gone backwards, and everything that they've learned as characters and grown and everything, they've just gone back to like season 1 stuff. And I understand in certain things like the vanishing of Holly Wheeler and taking it back to season 1 and kind of bookending and all this stuff. But you don't need to do that with the characters. The characters have come on arcs. You don't need to regress them back to their season 1 arcs where they all don't like each other. Like the Dustin thing, it just feels unnecessary, and it's like, but Steve's grown past this. And it's like kind of fun stuff. Like, it's not bad scenes. That's why it's just a strange choice. It's just like, I don't know, man. I just think it would have been so much better if like he was just dating Nancy and then him and Jonathan were just friends. Like, I don't know. Why can't they just be nice and friends? Like, there's so much tension and conflict with the military and dipshit Derek. God, that dipshit. And of course, Vecna / Henry / number 1. There's stuff going on. I just don't think all this silly little squabbling is necessary. I think it'd be kind of fun if, in these final moments, they're all together. Because nothing in this makes me go, well, no, it actually makes sense. Because it's like, I don't know. We spent all of season 4 being like, oh, Steve and Nancy, of course. And Jonathan doesn't actually want to be with her. And they kind of, I don't know, hadn't they sorted this out? Why is he going to propose to her? It just, I don't know. It just feels like they didn't rewatch season 4 18 times before this season. Probably too busy filming this season. I don't know, not that big an issue. Really, it's just a strange choice. Okay, so now we're up to bad. The bad of this season, of these first 4 episodes. And unfortunately, it is the same issue that I had with season 4 in those last couple of episodes. And I think this is an issue that a lot of people are going to disagree with. And I think some people might agree with. But hey, it's just a personal preference. And I don't think it's an issue with the early part of the series. But that is the fact that they are gutless when it comes to killing characters. Now, I know what you're going to say. They kill a character every time. Debbie, friend, her name's right here. I'm sorry, I forgot. I've only seen this show 10 times through. Fuck. We killed Bob in season 2. We killed Alexi in season 3. And in season 4, of course, we killed Eddie. They kill characters. Yeah, sure, like side characters. But you need to kill like main characters, not at the, like you actually don't have to. But if you're going to make the stakes so dramatic and take away the light fun of the show, because I feel like in the first 3 seasons, like you're definitely not going to kill Will. It's all about that. And in season 2 and 3, I'm happy for the kids all to survive because it's a fun show. It's horror, but it's like horror light. Like it's fun. And so if you kill like Lucas in season 2 or 3 or something, or like Michael, whoever, it's like not as fun. I get that. But the way those last 3 episodes play out in season 4 and the way this season's playing out, they have taken away a bit of that fun, and it's much more self-serious and dour and mature, and they're going for that more intense route. And I know it's no Game of Thrones, but they are going for that intense route, and they are going for scenes that are meant to be shocking and horrific, like a Game of Thrones, where they kill characters. But if you don't commit to it, like how they did with Max, where they killed her, but she's fine, she's in a coma, and now she's running about in a fantasy mind palace world or whatever. It's like, it takes away the stakes, and I don't believe you. So when there's a dramatic scene, and they're like, oh my god, I could die, I'm like, I don't believe you. Like when Vecna has the 3 demigorgons going to attack the 3 people, I didn't know Will was going to stop them, but I knew something was going to happen. I did not think for a single second that Robin and Mike or whoever were going to die. Like, not one of them, none of them. I had no sense of stakes or tension. And I think that is an issue. I still love this show. I still have a lot of fun with it. But like when that Demogorgon's getting home alone, I am not like, oh my god, the Demogorgon's probably going to kill one of them. He's like bashing them around. Joyce is like swinging an axe at him and he's like, rawr! And I'm not like, fuck, oh my god, oh shit, is Joyce going to die? Because they're gutless and they don't commit. They don't go the full distance. And it really is the Max thing because it's like, you fake out and you save her halfway through the season, and then to kill her at the end is tragic and heartbreaking and devastating. And it's like, I don't want her to die because I think she's a fantastic character. I love her character. But that's why you probably should have killed her, because it would have really fucking hurt. And we would have all just really felt it. Like, sometimes if you're going to put them that far into a situation and go 9.5 out of 10, you got to go 10 and kill them. I just think that if you're going to make it like they do, you have to commit. And they don't, and it's coward shit, and they're gutless, and it's pretty dramatic words. I don't care as much when I rewatch when I watch it. I'm like, oh my god, she's blinded in a coma, and it's mildly emotional. But like when she came back, Max comes back, and she's like, I'm in a fantasy dream world. Look at my pants, and I'm just like, what is this Mind Palace stuff? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Mind Palace stuff. All the holy stuff is totally fine or whatever. I don't know much to say because we don't know what that's all about yet. So I want to hold off judgment. It could be fantastic. Feels a bit like whatever. I just don't know Holly yet. And I respect them giving her that time, but I'm like, who cares? And Max, it's just kind of frustrating seeing her back. And it's kind of emotional when she's doing the run. It's like, remember that scene where she did the run from season 4? That, like, their biggest, most iconic scene? I'm like, yeah, I remember. And it closes because the cassette turns off. Like, there's little bits of fun. I just emotionally don't feel connected because I'm like, I just don't believe she won't, like, she's going to get out and hug Lucas and be fine. Because you didn't kill her. Because you're gutless and you're cowards and you won't commit. So why should I think that potentially she'll stay in there and die? And then if she does, I'll be like, oh, okay. But I just don't, my body, I've like put a safeguard up. I'm like, I just don't believe the scenes. And that's the 15-minute setup for they kill the parents of the Wheelers' dad character and mom character. I should know their names. I'm sorry. It's hot and I'm tired. I will put in, I'll do an ADR later when I'm editing and I Google their names. So when Ted and Karen die, I was like, oh, the dad died. Oh my god, he died. But he's not really a character. So I was like, but then Joyce is the other. Karen. She's like fighting and she's stabbing the Demogorgon and it's weird cutting and editing. I don't like how they did that where it cuts away and you see the blood and then it cuts back and then you see the hit and I'm like, I don't know, the staging, the editing and the pacing of it all just felt a little strange. Just like, give us the scene. And she does a big sacrifice and she saves her daughter, even though his daughter still gets kidnapped. She was saving herself and it's a beautiful, big, emotional scene. She's so good. All of the tension, that whole scene is incredible. The Demogorgons finally look absurdly cool. Just so much detail everywhere. It's really cool. You can finally see just how many teeth and just a lot going on with the visual effects there. It's so incredible. And they kill her and you're like, fuck. But like a part of me, because of the Max thing and just because of the way they've, at the end of the last season, everyone's tied up on like vines and it's like, Vecna could probably have killed like half of them, but he just didn't because like whatever. So I'm just like a little like, I don't know, man. She's bleeding out. I'm like, oh wait. It's still a great scene. But then immediately after the credits, it cuts and she's in a hospital. And I'm like, come on, man. They both survived? And once again, I'm not being cruel. It's just like, if you're going to go this far and make it feel so self-serious and dour and tense and endgamey, you gotta commit, man. You gotta kill them. You gotta at least kill the dad. I also think the dad was kind of dogged. I think the dad would have been really, not funny, but make it a little funny. Would have been really cool because he's been such like, oh, fuck everyone. He kind of hates his kids and the mum is like, you didn't even know the age of your daughter, which is very funny because the reason he doesn't know the age of his daughter is because the writers don't, because the audience don't, because how fucking old is she meant to be? Is she 10? 14? Like, who knows? Is she meant to still be like 8? Like, I don't know. She was like 3 last season, I thought. So I don't know. I just thought it was so funny, so meta, so clever. But to have that scene and then to have him be like, get away from my family. And he's like, I think him killing the Demogorgon then would be sweet. Or going out really swinging. Whereas he kind of was like, oh no, this is... Oh. And I'm like, I kind of think that would have been a nice redemption little moment. Sure, give it to the mum. She's been a real character. But maybe have them team up together, I think would have been just super nice and just funny. Yeah, funny, because the dad's such a shithead. So funny, though. But yeah, they live to fight another day, and once again, if they die later, I just feel like, then why didn't you kill them then? Because really, like, you want to feel that gut punch. Like, if you're going to make the show sad and intense and kill characters, you need to commit. I've said it too many times. So yeah, it's coward shit. Bad. That being said, don't kill Steve. I feel like what's going to really annoy me is all these other characters should probably die in certain situations, but won't, and then you'll just kill Steve, because that will hurt the most. And for some reason, I feel like maybe you should kill characters until you kill the one character that I don't want you to kill. So yeah, Steve's going to die. So they're not going to be gutless right at the end, but I just think to really raise the stakes in scenes like in episode 4, when there's the big battle, to make me go, shit, maybe anyone could die. You gotta kill characters. Because, like, if the mum and dad of Mike can't die, why do I think Mike will die? Like, I don't. I don't even think dipshit Derek's gonna die. But God, do I wish he would. That is fine, I don't know. His redemption arc was a little quick, but I don't know, an interesting character where they have to save someone who just fucking sucks. It's kind of fun. So other stuff, it's not necessarily bad, but it's also not that strange, but maybe it's a little strange. I don't know, it's one of those two categories. This isn't really a good, the bad, and the strange. I don't know, that was just the thing I said. I don't love the Holly and Max stuff. I briefly said that earlier. I don't know. The cave feels just a little goofy. She's like, I came to this spooky cave, and he doesn't like the spooky cave. So I've got all this stuff. I'm like, where's the stuff come from? It's in his mind palace, but why is he letting her do... Like, I just feel like it's strange. And obviously, she's in a part of his mind where he doesn't like it. But, like, where does like, stuff come from? It just feels like a strange world. And I'm like, I don't like this colourful fantasy thing. Holly is, like, very Red Riding Hood walking into the forest. I don't know. It's just so fairy tale-y, but I couldn't latch on. I didn't emotionally get it. So it's kind of just bounced off me. I felt it was a little strange. As I said, the Max thing, I've always just been a bit like, and I don't love how they've used her so far. I was kind of hoping it would be a little different. I thought it was going to be in that black place where her and Eleven would have a final talk and she'd be like, I have some knowledge about Vecna, which will probably still happen. So I'm holding judgment. Presumably the cave has something to do with the Mind Flayer, because the Mind Flayer hasn't been in it, but that whole Lovecraftian, Cthulhu-y vibe, presumably that's like, maybe that will like not like Vecna and they'll first, I don't know. I'm curious how that's all going to go. I want there to be some really juicy lore stuff, and I hope we don't know everything yet, but presumably we don't. So holding off judgment, even though at this stage, meh. Also, another thing that I did think was kind of bad, but yeah, not bad, just obvious. The Mr. What's-His-Face. So Mr. What's-His-Face, like this guy is creeping about, and it's just so obvious it's Henry / Vecna / number one. I just don't really, there was nothing there. I was kind of like, oh, it's obviously him. Oh, it's so obviously him. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe there's this new dynamic, this new antagonist, or maybe anti-hero or something going on. No. It's just him. And he's just like walking about, being like, come with me. And I come to my mind palace. And I don't know. I also thought all that stuff didn't really work. It wasn't like super mysterious. We're like, what's going on? I think they're potentially suffering with like every season, something is introduced. A new big element. Just the whole concept of the show, and then we've got the Mind Flayer in season 2, the Flesh Mind Flayer or whatever in season 3, Vecna in season 4, and now it's Vecna in season 5. So I just wonder if there's going to be less mystery and exciting kind of revelations and reveals and just that discovery. Like so much of season 4 that's so exciting is there's so much going on with the discovery of like, who is Vecna? Who is Henry? Who is number one? Oh shit, it's all the one guy, and just everything tying together. And I don't know, I think it was just so good. It just really felt like it was a step above the rest in terms of storytelling and creatively weaving all this backstory and lore and mythology and all the things. I just really don't think any of this was like anywhere near as good. He's just back and he's just kidnapping kids, and I just don't really care. Like I care because I love the characters in the world, but there wasn't an extra thing this season so far where I'm like, oh my fucking god, ah! Whereas halfway through season 4, I feel like there was like 10 of those. But I don't know. I'm being harsh. We're only halfway, but still, we're already halfway. Only 4 episodes left. I was kind of hoping for more juice mythology-wise, but maybe it is all set up, and I just don't know what they're setting up yet to blow my mind later. So, holding off from saying it's terrible, just right now, it's a bit like, meh. Also, and I hate being negative, because all that Vecna stuff was amazing. Like, when he rocks up, it's fucking awesome. I don't love his new look. The rib cagey kind of armor, like, he looks like Swole Groot. Why does he look like teenage Groot now? I don't know, man. It just felt weird. I think the biggest issue, because I understand it kind of looks like he's wearing like a sword and like a medieval warrior with those big armor plate kind of things. Looks like a football player or whatever. He just looks more CGI now. Like, it looks technically very good CGI, but when I look at him, I don't think, wow, that's a human. Where's the CGI? Like, it's the moving bits, but that feels real. Now it feels like a whole CGI effect. And I'm sure it's not, but because there's just more stuff going on, to me it feels more CGI. And I just don't know if the design change was necessary. But at the same time, he's got a big claw hand now and he stabbed that guy in the face. And I was like, fuck me. So, you know, pretty cool. So there is a big wall in the Upside Down. And all that did was make me think of Game of Thrones and that wall. Does that worry me in terms of this final season? No. I feel like I should talk about 11 more, but also the review's gone for too long. I like that she has the Force now. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? So there's a big twist, reveal, and revelation, and they think that Vecna's behind a wall, even though it's like, how would the military have possibly captured Vecna? I just knew that wasn't going to be the case, so as soon as she's like, my god, it's somebody like me, I'm like, oh shit, it's number 8. And like, as soon as she says that, and it cuts to Hopper, and he's like, whoa, and she's like, Vecna, the military have Vecna. It literally then like smash cuts to Holly and she's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense about whatever she's talking about or whatever. Whatever, she paraphrased. But she's just like, that's dumb and stupid. Why would you think that essentially? And I was like, oh, yeah. It's clearly not Vecna. Not because Holly said that, but that just reaffirmed it. And so when the big twist reveal happened and Hopper's like, I'm going to blow myself up. I'm like, fuck, it'd be pretty funny if he blew himself up. And then like 8's like half her body was crawling out and Hopper's like, oh no, I killed myself in 8. But no, it's just 8. And she's like, it's me. Oh, remember the worst episode of TV ever? And I'm like, honestly, not really, because at the time when I first watched it, I literally fell asleep midway through the episodes. I'm like, fuck, that was so boring and bad and cringe and awful. So I rewatched it at some point. What did I? And I've skipped it. I skip it every single time. It's probably the only episode of a show I skip. Is it even as bad as I remember? Yes, of course it is. Absolutely disgusting. But actually pretty excited to see how they bring her back and redeem the character and tie it all together. But also I think it would be very funny if she's like, now there's 2 of us and then there's 3 of us with magic powers. And then Vecna rocks up and just like kills her like straight away. I think that would be really funny. And I do think that would be like a good, like, kind of like, hey, you got a cliffhanger where it's like, oh my god, 8's back, oh my god, oh. So I think killing her straight away would just be really funny to be like, yeah, we're sorry about that episode. And just addressing that people hate it. And apologies if you love it, you're allowed to love it. But I just think that would be really funny to kill her like that. So in conclusion, despite the fact I love these characters and I love this world and this show, the lore and the mythology, all the things, I, like Will, have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, I should lower my impossibly high expectations for the final 4 episodes. Or maybe it picks up and it becomes easily the best season and it's so much better than everything else and it's the greatest 4 episodes of TV ever and it's one of the only shows of all time where the final season is definitively, objectively, the greatest season of the show. Who's to say? Stranger things have happened. I'm so sorry. Why did I think that would be a good way to end it? That might be the worst thing I've ever said. Thank you for watching. Did anyone get this far in the video? Almost certainly not. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I would love to know, what did you think about these 4 first episodes of Season 5 of Stranger Things, the final season? Oh, I'm so excited to hear people's comments. A big yays, big nays, or for the first time on the internet, a nuanced opinion.